how are you? I hope you all are fine. You all are doing good. Take your history book, all of you. Come to page number 59. Come to page number 59. In the previous class, you have learned the Mauryan Empire, the great emperor of Ashoka. Okay, so you have learned about him very well, is no? So today you are going to learn about the economy and society of the Mauryan Empire. Okay, so in Mauryan Empire period time, the economy and the society how was it? Okay, so we are going to learn from this chapter. Okay, so can you open please page number 59? Okay. I've given you the brief answers to as homework. Azan, I have asked you to study and write in the homework page. Azan, have you completed all of you? If you have not completed, when you come for correction, you will get. Azan, so it is better you finish your homework. Okay. Okay. Page number 59. There is a map given, edicts of Ashoka. Okay, page number 58, there is a map given. You see the edicts of Ashoka. Edicts means kalvittugal. Okay, so the square shape is given. It is marked all the major rock edicts. Okay, you see that it is there in Mansara, Shabalgiri, Gandhar, Kalshi, and see there Girnar, Shopara, Sannadi, like that many areas are marked by the square. Is that no? So these all the areas are major rock edicts and rectangle pillar edicts. Okay. So some other you see there Delhi, Meerut, Lumbini, Lauria, Hauzambi. So these all the areas. Okay. And the white square minor rock edicts and the area you see the territorial limits. This all the territorial, this was ruled by the Mauryans. Okay, so these are the edicts of Ashoka, Maurya Empire. This is the territorial. Okay. So already in the previous class you have learned agriculture was their main occupation. From that they did economy and they produced more crops and they collected the revenue. So for that the economy level was very high. Okay, so the agriculture formed the backbone of the economy. It was the largest sector in terms of its. Okay, so for the agriculture, that is the primary sector. Is no, you know that already. Economics you have studied in the 10th standard. There are three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Is no, so agriculture comes under the primary sector. No, so that was one of the backbone of the economy in the Mauryan period. Okay, and it was the largest sector because many people they involved in the agriculture and it was greatest revenue to the state. And the Greeks noted with wonder that two crops could be raised annually in India because of the fertility of the soil. Okay, so in India the soil, already you know that all the physical divisions are there in our India. Is that the desert is there, mountain is there, many rivers are there, and all the types of physical division, many forest areas are there. Is that no? And our area, our India covered water on the three sides. And so there are many physical divisions are there. So and also India is one of the fertile region. Okay, so because of the fertility of the soil in India, two crops could be raised annually. Okay, so besides food grains like paddy, wheat, millets, pulses, these are also in India. So India also grew cash crops like sugar cane. These also rubber. These also grew in India. So such as sugar cane and cotton described by Megasthenes as a reed that honey and trees on which wool grew. Okay. So this is described a reed that produced honey. A reed that produced honey. தேனை உற்பத்தி செய்யும் மூங்கில் and trees on which will grow. Okay, கம்பளி வளரும் செடி அப்படின்னு என்ன செய்யறாரு சொல்கிறேன். So because these two are the important commercial crops. Okay, and the fact that the agrarian sector would produce a diversification of the economy beyond subsistence to commercial production. So they produce the commercial agrarian sector means the agricultural sector, they produced more crops, more surplus of major factors. So it was used to develop the economy level. Okay, and it is used for the commercial production. Okay, so most of the area they did the agriculture, and it was given surplus ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுறதுனால அது எல்லாமே எக்கனாமி லெவலில் வந்து ரொம்பவே யூஸ் ஆச்சு. ஓகே, தென் கிராஃப்ட் அண்ட் குட்ஸ் கைவினை திறன்கள் பொருட்கள். ஓகே, மெனி கிராஃப்ட்ஸ் ப்ரொடியூசிங் எ வெரைட்டி ஆஃப் மேனுஃபேக்சரர்ஸ் ஃப்ளோரிஸ்ட் இன் த எக்கனாமி. So many things were made by the craftsmen. Okay, and we can raise the products of utilitarian or functional and luxurious and ornamental. Okay, so we can classify them as utilitarian. ஓகே, நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுற பொருட்கள் ஃபங்க்ஷனல் ஆடம்பரமாக பயன்படுத்துறது, ஆடம்பரமாக பயன்படுத்துகிறது லக்ஸரியஸ், ஃபங்க்ஷனல் அலங்கார பொருட்கள், ஆர்னமெண்டல். ஸோ தீஸ் ஆல் வேர் மேட் பை த craftsmen. Okay, then spinning and weaving, especially of cotton fabrics, relying on the universal availability of cotton through the most widespread occupations outside of agriculture. So some people they did agriculture, and most of the people they produced more crafts like sugar cane, cotton, everything they were produced. So spinning also were there in that time, and they made many types of cloths. A great variety of cloth was produced in the country. Okay, many types of cloths were produced in the country, and ranging from the coarse fabrics used by the ordinary people for everyday use to the very fine textures worn by the upper classes and the royalty. Okay, கொஞ்சம் அவங்களாம் டெய்லி யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்காக ஒரு ஹார்டான கிளாத்ஸும் தயாரித்தாங்க. நல்ல ராயலான பீப்புள்ஸ் உயர்தர மக்கள்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கான ஒரு நல்ல மெல்லிய ட்ரெஸ்ஸஸும் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க, தயாரிக்கப்பட்டது. So the Arthashastra refers to the region producing specialized textiles. Kasi, that means Benares, then Banga, Bengal, Kamaruba, Assam, Madurai, and many others. These all the region produced many distinctive and specialized varieties of fabrics. Okay, Madurai, Assam, Bengal, Benares. So now also you see that in Madurai, in Benares, Assam, Bengal, in Coimbatore. So all the region they produce many special varieties of fabrics. Okay, then cloth embroidered with gold and silver was worn by the king and members of the royal court. Okay, and the gold, silver embroidered போட்ட அந்த ட்ரெஸ்ஸஸ்லாம், அந்த சரிகைகள் உள்ள ட்ரெஸ்ஸஸ்லாம் கிங்கு அவங்க அந்த ராயல் கோர்ட்டில் இருக்க மெம்பர்ஸ் எல்லாருமே பட்டு சரிகைகளால் சில்வர் சலுகைகளான ட்ரெஸ் தான் என்ன செஞ்சுருந்தாங்க, அணிஞ்சிருந்தாங்க. Silk was known and was generally referred to as Chinese silk. Okay, so in that time the silk was referred to as Chinese silk. It shows that the great extensive trade was there in between Mauryan Empire to China. Okay, and metal works were great importance, and the local metal workers worked with iron. So iron was used in the Mauryan Empire, and also copper and some of the other metals also used. Okay, used to produce the tools, implements, vessels, and other utility items. Okay, now also we use the silver items, and plastic items, everything we used. Okay, so in Mauryan Empire period they used iron, copper, and some of the other metal tools also, and implements, vessel, everything were used. Okay, then iron smelting, okay, so had been known for many centuries, but there was a great improvement in technology after iron furnaces at very high temperature. Okay, iron வந்து அதிக டெம்பரேச்சரில் உருக்கிறதுக்கான கண்டுபிடிப்புகளை இந்த டைமில் தான் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க, கண்டுபிடிச்சாங்க. Finds show a great qualitative and quantitative improvement in iron production after this date. Okay, so after this 500 BCE, the great improvement of using the iron and production of iron. Okay, then improvement in iron technology had widespread implications for the rest of the economy. So for the economy improvement, iron technology was used. Okay, then better tools like axes, all the things were made by the irons. Okay. Okay, more extensive clearing of forest possible for agriculture. Okay, so for forest area cleared for do the agriculture by the using of iron weapons and iron tools. Then better blows would improve agricultural process. Better nails and tools improved woodwork and carpentry as well as other crafts. So by the using of iron they made many blows machines and many tools they were found for the woodwork and for other some craft work also. Okay, woodwork was another important craft for shipbuilding, making carts and chariots. Chariot means radham. Then house construction and so on. Okay, so all the woodwork also used for by the using of wood we can make the buildings and we can make carts, chariots, houses, everything. Okay, and stone work, stone carving and highly skilled craft. So they used the iron tools and also they used the wood items and also they used the stone items also. Okay, this expertise is seen is the stone sculptures in the stupa and the highly polished chunar stone used for Ashoka's pillar. Okay, so அசோகாவோட பில்லர்ல பாலிஷ் பண்றதுக்காக சுனார் அப்படிங்கிற ஸ்டோனை வந்து என்ன செஞ்சாங்க, யூஸ் பண்ணாங்க, நல்லா பாலிஷ் பண்ணாங்க. This is a picture of Sanji Stupa. Okay, Sanji Stupa. A whole range of luxury goods was produced, including gold, silver articles, jewelry, perfumes and carved ivory. These all were produced in the Mauryan period. Okay, and there is evidence that many other products like drugs and medicines, pottery, dyes, gums, these also were produced in the Mauryan Empire. Okay, drugs போதை பொருட்கள், மருந்து பொருட்கள், பானைகள், டை, கம், இது எல்லாமே என்ன செஞ்சுருக்காங்க, மௌரியன் எம்பையர் டைமில் வந்து ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. So the economy had thus developed for beyond subsistence production to a very sophisticated level of commercial graft production. Okay, so the many items they were produced is already we have seen that agricultural items also, the crops they were produced is, and from the crop they produced and luxury goods also they produced, gold, silver articles, jewelry, perfumes, carved ivory and wood items they were produced many things, and they produced drugs, medicines, pottery, dyes, gums, all were produced in the Mauryan Empire time. Okay, and predominantly urban based hereditary occupations and sons usually followed their fathers in the practice of various crafts. Okay, so all the father what they follow, all the sons they followed their father's occupation, and if they are the carpenter and the son also practiced the work. Okay, and if they are barbers and their son also practiced the work. Like so many sons they were followed their father's occupations. Okay, then craftsmen worked primarily as individuals. The royal workshops for producing cloth and other products also existed. Many workshops also made for producing the cloths. Each craft had a head called Bamuka, okay, Bramuka or leader, and a Jeta. Jeta means elder. Okay, Aishta, and was organized in a Srenier, a guild, so that the institutional identity superseded the individual in craft production. Disputes between Srenis were resolved by a Magaseti, and this ensured the smooth functioning of craft production in the cities. So some of the disputes between Srenis were resolved by ஓகே, அவங்க தொழில்களில் அந்த உற்பத்தியில் வந்து அவங்களுக்கு ஏற்பட்ட அந்த பிரச்சனைகள், ஸ்ரேனி மீன்ஸ் ஒரு வணிக குழுக்களுக்கு ஏற்பட்ட பிரச்சனைகள்னா மகாசேத்தி அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து தீர்த்து வச்சார். அதனால் அந்த கைத்தொழில் வந்து தடங்களின்றி நடந்துகிட்டே இருந்துச்சு. ஓகே, தென் ட்ரேட். ஓகே, ட்ரேட் மீன்ஸ் வாட், வணிகம். ட்ரேட் ஆர் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பிகம்ஸ் அ நேச்சுரல் commitment of economic diversification. So production of a surplus beyond subsistence is fertile unless the surplus has exchange value. Since the surplus has no use value when subsistence needs have been. Okay, so the production அதிகமாக உற்பத்தி பண்ணுறப்போ நமக்கு தேவைக்கு அதிகமாக உற்பத்தி பண்ணுறப்போ அதை நம்ம என்ன செஞ்சோம், எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிடலாம். எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பண்ணாமல் நம்மளே ஸ்டோர் பண்ணி வச்சுருந்தோன்னா நோ யூஸ், நோ. ஸோ நம்ம அதனால் வந்து ட்ரேட் வந்து எக்ஸ்பேண்ட் ஆச்சு. ஓகே, அதிகமாக ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுறதுனால அதை எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணாங்க. அது மூலமாக வந்து எக்கனாமிக் லெவல் வந்து அதிகமாச்சு. ஸோ ட்ரேட் டேக்ஸ் பிளேஸ் இன் a hierarchy of markets ranging from the exchange of goods in a village market between villages and towns within a district. Okay, so village market they sold the surplus, the goods were sold. Okay, in the village market, not only in the village market, in between the villages and in between the towns they sold. Okay, they exchange. And across cities in long distance overland trade across borders to other countries also they exported all things. Okay, so the surplus அதிகமான தேவைக்கு அதிகமான things, okay, that is called the surplus things, surplus goods all were exported. Okay, then trade also needs a conducive political climate as was provided by the Mauryan Empire, which ensured peace and stability over a very large area. The rivers in the Gangetic plains were major means of transporting goods throughout the northern India. So the northern India area, the Gangetic plain is there. Is the Gangetic Ganga river is there. So the that is one of the important for the transporting goods. Okay, and goods were transported for the worst overland by road, and in the worst area they used road and they transported all the goods sectors. Okay, and in the northern side they used the Gangetic plains, okay, for the transporting goods. Okay, and roads connected the north of the country's cities and markets in the southeast and in the southwest. Passing through towns like Vidisha and Ujjain, the northwest route linked the empire to central and western Asia. So many roads were linked with some of the cities for the trade. And overseas trade by ships were also known, and Buddhist Jataka tales refer to the long voyages undertaken by merchants. Okay, so the overseas trade also they did. Okay, by the use of the roads and plains, Gangetic plains, and overseas also trade they used. Seaborne trade was carried on with Burma and Malay archipelago and with Sri Lanka. The ships, however, were probably quite small and might have used the coastline. The ships all were small. கப்பல்கள்லாம் சின்னதாக இருந்தது. கோஸ்ட் லைனை ஒட்டி போகிற மாதிரி தான் அமைச்சிருக்கு. ஸோ we do not have much information about the merchant communities. ஓகே, அவங்க நம்ம வணிக குழுக்களை பற்றி நமக்கு வந்து போதுமான இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் இல்லை. In general, long distance overland trade was undertaken by merchant groups traveling together as a caravan for security, led by a caravan leaders known as the Maga Satavaga. Okay, so all the merchants they were traveled with production. Okay, with they got the security. Okay, by the security of Maga Satavaga. Okay, he was the caravan leader. Roads through forest and unfavorable environment like desert were always dangerous. Okay, all the forest areas and all the desert, these all were very dangerous. So the Arthashastra, however, stresses the importance of trade and it's ensuring its smooth functioning. Trade has to be facilitated through the construction of roads and maintaining them in good condition. So the roads, if the roads are good, so the trade will be good. Also, and we have to maintain the roads also in the good condition. So it was followed. So then since tolls and artillery were collected on goods, when they were transported, toll booths must have been set up and manned on all the trade routes. The toll booths were there. Okay, the toll booths, toll gate cholona now. So it was called toll booths in that time, and it was set up, and they collected the revenue also. Okay, then urban markets and craftsmen were generally closely monitored and controlled to prevent fraud. Okay, for எல்லா நகர மார்க்கெட்ஸ் எல்லாமே என்ன செஞ்சிருந்த மானிட்டர் பண்ணிகிட்டே இருந்தாங்க. அந்த குற்றங்களை வந்து என்ன செய்கிறது, தடுக்கிறதுக்கு, ஏமாற்று வேலை எதுவும் நடக்காமல் இருக்கிறது தடுக்கிறதுக்காக. Okay, so the Arthashastra has a long the goods, agricultural and manufactured, which were traded in internal and foreign trade. Okay, so they did the internal means in between the countries, the domestic trade, and also the foreign trade also was happened in the Mauryan Empire period. Okay, so these includes textiles, all the types of textiles, woolens, silks, aromatic goods, animal skins, gems, all were exported to the various parts of India, China and Sri Lanka. Greek sources confirm the trade links with the west through the Greek states to Egypt. Indigo, ivory, tortoises shell, pearls and perfumes and rare woods were all exported to Egypt. Okay, so from India to Egypt. All these items, indigo, ivory, tortoiseshell, pearls, perfumes, and rare woods, all were exported from India to Egypt through the way of Greek states. Got it? And coins and currency. What are the types of coins and currency were used in the Mauryan period? Okay, we are going to see. Though coinage was unknown, barter was the medium of exchange in pre-modern economies. So barter system means things for things, goods for goods. If we give rice, they will give sugar, like that. Things for things. Okay, the barter system already have studied in 9th standard and also the 10th standard. Okay, so in the Mauryan Empire, the silver coins known as bana were the most commonly used currency. Okay, so the bana was used by the Mauryan Empire, and hoarders of punch-marked coins have been found in many parts of North India, though some of these coins may have been from earlier periods. So some of the punch marked coin also they have used. Okay, then thus wild coins were used in use, and it is difficult to estimate the extent to which the economy was monetized. Okay, so many the coins and currency, bana was the currency they were used, and some of the punch marked coin also they have used. Okay, so the Mauryans economic, how it was, and to very difficult to estimate the extent to which the economy was monetized. Okay, so அவங்க எக்கனாமிக்கல் லெவலில் எப்படி பணத்தெல்லாம் சார்ந்திருந்தாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத வந்து அதை வந்து மென்ஷன் பண்ணுறது ரொம்பவே கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது. Process of urbanization. Urbanization is the process of the establishment of towns and cities as the headquarters of administration, as pilgrim centers, as commercial market centers, and because of their locational advantages on major trade routes. Okay, so the many the agricultural land எல்லாம் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க, நகரங்களா மாத்தினாங்க. Okay, புனித ஸ்தலங்களா வணிக மையங்களா மாத்தினாங்க. Then in what way do urban settlements differ from villages or rural settlements? To begin with, towns and cities do not produce their own food and depend on the efficient transport. A larger number of people reside in towns and cities, and the density of population is much higher in cities. Yes, and so most of the people they migrated from the village area to the urban area, and the population level was very high, very density in the city areas. Okay, so cities attract a variety of non-agricultural workers, craftsmen who seek employment. So many the people, some of the people, they needed employment. So those people they went to the urban areas for their employment, and they got the jobs in the urban areas. So most of the people they migrated from the village area to urban areas. Okay, and thereby forming the workforce of the production of manufactured goods and service of various kinds of goods were manufactured, and many industries were formed as in the modern era. So these goods, in addition to the agricultural products brought in from the rural countryside or traded in markets, cities also tend to house a variety of persons in service related activities. The Sangam poetry in Tamil and the Tamil epics provide vivid pictures of cities like Madurai, Kanjipuram, Boombugar as teeming with people, with vibrant markets and merchants selling a variety of goods, as well as vendors selling various goods including food door to door. Okay, food door to door. So like that many pictures பிக்சர்ஸ்லாம் நினைச்சிருக்காங்க, ட்ரா பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அதில் நிறைய வணிக வியாபாரிகள் வந்து மார்க்கெட்ஸில் எல்லாத்தையும் சேல்ஸ் பண்ணுற மாதிரி, டோர்ஸ்லாம் என்ன செய்கிறது, டோர் டு டோர் வந்து செல் பண்ணுற மாதிரிலாம் நிறைய இருக்குது. ஓகே, ஸோ though these literary works relate to a slightly later period, it is not different in terms of the prevailing level of technology, and these descriptions may be taken as an accurate depiction of urban living. The only contemporary pictorial representation of cities is found in the sculptures in Sanji, which portray royal processions, and cities are seen to have roads, a multitude of people, and multi-storied buildings crowded together. Okay, so in the city areas many they were lived, and also many பல அடுக்குமாடி கட்டிடங்கள்லாம் என்ன செஞ்சுருந்துச்சு, பக்கத்தில் கட்டியிருந்தாங்க. ஓகே, The evidences are there. Okay, edicts and some of the archaeological excavations also it shows that. Okay, then urbanization in 6th century BC. One of the first prerequisites for urbanization in the development of an agricultural base. This had evolved in the Indo-Gangetic plain, and from very early on there are references to cities like Hastinapura and Ayodhya. By about 6th century BC, urbanization had spread to the Doab, and many new city centers like Kaushambi, Bithavali, Rajagriha, and among others are mentioned in the region. So many urbanization, many city centers were there in the Mauryan Empire period. Then Buddhist texts about Buddha's preaching were always located in urban centers. Cities developed primarily in particular in the Doab region after the marshy land was drained and reclaimed for cultivation. Okay, so in city areas also developed the primary like the agriculture, cultivation, everything. Okay, so the fertile soil and plentiful availability of water from the perennial rivers made it possible to raise even 2 crops of rice. Okay, அதிகமாக நல்ல வளமிக்க மண் நிறைய தண்ணி கிடைச்சதுனால அந்த டைமில் வந்து நிறைய செஞ்சாங்க 2 times வந்து ரைஸை வந்து ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணாங்க. And the production of a large agricultural surplus to feed the cities. The improvements of in iron technology also had an impact on economic life both in rural and urban areas. So the iron technology was improved in the Mauryan Empire time. Also it is used for the rural and also the urban areas. Okay, as Magadha grew, many regional and Ujjain were also incorporated into the empire. So housing and town planning. வீடுகளும் நகர அமைப்புகளும். Towns were often located along the rivers, presumably for ease of access to transportation. Okay, ஸோ அந்த எல்லா சிட்டிஸ் டவுன்ஸ் எல்லாமே வந்து ரிவர் பக்கத்தில் இருந்துருச்சு. எதுக்குன்னா ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் ஃபெசிலிட்டிக்காக வந்து அமைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு கெஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ they were surrounded by moats and rampart to provide defensive protection. ஓகே, ஸோ அவங்கள பாதுகாக்கிறதுக்காக எனக்கு பாதுகாப்பு கோட்டை சுவர்கள்லாம் வச்சுருந்தாங்க. They were always open to attack since treasuries holding government revenue were housed in them. In addition to the fact that as trading centers, the local people and merchants were also wealthy. So all the people, they were royally, so they lived there in the sometimes some people they can come and attack. So for that they were feared and they were protected by all the rampart. Okay. Then as the towns became more prosperous, the quality of the houses which were built of mud bricks, செங்கல், fired bricks, சுட்ட செங்கல்களால் மண் செங்கல்களால் கட்டப்பட்டு அந்த டவுனோடைய குவாலிட்டியை வந்து இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணாங்க. Towns also had other facilities like drains, okay, சாக்கடைகள், ring well, mud pits, okay, குழிகள், testifying to the development of civic amenities and ஓகே, நிறைய டெவலப்லாம் என்ன செஞ்சிச்சு வீடுகளில் வந்து அந்த களிமண் குழிகள், அப்புறம் அந்த சானிடேஷன், சுகாதாரம் எல்லாமே வந்து என்ன செஞ்சிருந்தது, வசதிகள்லாம் ஏற்படுத்தியிருந்தாங்க. ஓகே, the cities had ring wells and soak pits. There was a quantitative increase in the use of iron and the variety of iron artifacts. Okay, ஸோ இரும்பால் செய்யப்பட்ட எல்லா பொருட்களுமே என்ன செய்யிருந்தாங்க, அதிகமாக பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க. City of Padaliputra. Padaliputra was the great capital city in the Mauryan Empire. It was described as a large and wealthy city situated at the confluence of the Ganga and Sun rivers. Okay, so Padaliputra was the capital of Mauryan Empire. You should know that. Okay, so it was the very largest and also the wealthy city. Okay, it was situated in the Ganga and Sun rivers, stretching in the form of a parallelogram. It was more than 14 kilometers in length and about 2.5 kilometers wide. Okay, நீளம் வந்து 14 kilometers, அகலம் வந்து 2.5 kilometers wide. So it was protected by an outer wall made of wood with loopholes for shooting arrows at enemies. Okay, அது வந்து என்ன செஞ்சுருந்தாங்க, ஒரு சுவர்களால் சுற்றி ஒரு மரக்கட்டைகள் ஓகே வுட்டாலான ஒரு சுவர்களால் வந்து அவங்க வந்து ப்ரொடக்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க ஒரு வால் மேக் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க அதில் ஹோல்ஸ் இருந்து எனிமிஸை ஷூட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக ஓகே ஸோ தேர் வர் 64 கேட்ஸ் டு தி சிட்டி அண்ட் 570 வாட்ச் டவர்ஸ் ஓகே அதில் எத்தனை வாசல்கள் இருந்துச்சு 64 வாசல்கள் இருந்து 570 வாட்சிங் டவர்ஸ் தட் மீன்ஸ் கண்காணிப்பு கோபுரங்கள் இருந்துச்சு ஓகே தென் there was a wide and deep moat outside the wall which was fed by water from the river ஓகே அந்த சுவர் பக்கத்தில் வந்து நிறைய ஒரு அகலமான ஆழமான குழி இருந்து ஓகே அந்த அகலிக்கு வந்து என்ன செய்வாங்க ரிவர்லேருந்து தண்ணி கொண்டு வந்து அதிலேருந்து என்ன செய்வாங்க யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க ஓகே தென் there were grand palaces in the city which had a large population ஓகே அந்த டவுனில் வந்து நிறைய என்ன இருந்தது அரண்மனைகள்லாம் இருந்துச்சு பாப்புலேஷன் எப்படி இருந்தது ஹையாக இருந்து ஸோ த சிட்டி வாஸ் அட்மினிஸ்டர்டு பை அ கார்பரேஷன் ஆஃப் 30 members okay so it was controlled by 30 members and Ashoka added to the magnificence of the city with monumental architecture that he added to the capital like the many pillared hall okay so அவர் நிறைய என்ன செஞ்சார் பல தூண்களை வந்து அதில் வந்து நிறுவினார் ஓகே then art and culture most of the literature and art of the period have not survived ஓகே நிறைய வந்து அந்த காலத்தில் இருந்த லிட்ரேச்சர் ஆர்ட் எல்லாமே என்ன செஞ்சுட்டு அழிந்து போயிட்டு so were enriched by the work of the grammarian Panini and Katyayana who was a contemporary of the Nandas and had written a commentary of Panini's work. Okay, so these two people, so அந்த மௌரிய எம்பையர் டைமில் வந்து இந்த சமஸ்கிருதம் இலக்கியம் இலக்கண ஆசிரியர் பாணினி அப்படிங்கிற படைப்பு நந்தர் அந்த பாணினியின் படைப்பு வந்து அந்த டைமில் வந்து ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டாக இருந்துச்சு Eventually, many literary works in Sanskrit were produced during this period and find mention in later works, but they are not available to us. Okay, now we have no evidence. Okay, but it was written. Then the Arthasastra notes the performing arts of the period, including music, instrument, bards, dance, and theatre. These also were there in the Mauryan Empire time. Okay, and the extensive production of crafted luxury products like jewellery, ivory carving and woodwork and especially stone carving should all be included as products of Mauryan art. Okay, இந்த எல்லாமே என்னது யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Okay, then many religions, caste and communities lived together in harmony in the Mauryan society. There is little mention of any overt dissensions or disputes among them, as in many regions of that era, including ancient Tamil Nadu. Courtesans were accorded a special place in the social hierarchy and their contributions were highly valued. Okay. அந்த கணிகைகள் அப்படிங்கிறவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு சிறப்பான இடத்தை வந்து கொடுத்து இந்த இடத்துக்கு ஓகே ஸோ இந்த டிக்ளைன் ஆஃப் த மௌரியன் எம்பையர் அந்த மௌரிய பேரரசோட வீழ்ச்சிக்கான என்னென்ன காரணங்கள் த ஹைலி சென்ட்ரலைஸ்டு அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் became unmanageable when Ashoka's successors were weak and inefficient. A weakened central administration with a large distance to communicate led to the rise of independent kingdoms. So after the Ashoka's successors, okay, the Ashoka's successors, they were very weak. So the central administration was not followed. So that is one of the reasons for the decline of the Mauryan Empire. Then after Ashoka's death, the kingdom split into two. There were invasions from the northwest, the notable groups that undertook military expeditions and established kingdoms on Indian soil were the Indo-Greeks, the Sakas and the Kushanas. Okay, so after the Ashoka's death, Ashoka வந்து இறந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் அந்த எம்பையர் வந்து ரெண்டாக பிரிவடைஞ்சது அதனால மற்றவர்கள் எல்லாரும் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க ஈஸியாக படையெடுத்தாங்க ஸோ த லாஸ்ட் ரூலர் Brahadatra, okay, Brahadatra was killed by his commander in chief who founded the Sunga dynasty that ruled India for over 100 years. Okay, so the last emperor வந்து பிரகத்ரா அவரை வந்து அவருடைய கமாண்டரே என்ன செஞ்சுட்டாரு கொண்டு அவரை வந்து அந்த புஷ்யமித்ர சுங்கன் அப்படிங்கிற சுங்க வம்சத்தை செஞ்சார் நிறுவனர். ஓகே, சுங்க டைனஸ்டி நிறுவனர். அது எவ்வளோ வருஷமாக இருந்துச்சு இந்தியாவில் 100 இயர்ஸ் அவங்க வந்து ரூல் பண்ணாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ திஸ் ஆல் for the decline of the Mauryan Empire. Okay, so this is completed. So from this unit you have learned about the Mauryan Empire very well. So today was unit. How many fill-ups? 20 fill-ups from this unit to make the meaningful fill-ups. Okay, and write all the short answers and all the brief. And got it? This is what work. Complete everything. Got it? I'll see you tomorrow.